Dr. Mohit, am I audible to you? Think our expert cannot hear us right now. Deepak?
नमस्कार.
नमस्कार मोहित जी, am I audible?
हाँ यस सर.
तो आपका आवाज बहुत कम आ रहा है.
हाँ जो भी बढ़ा दो. नाउ सर इट इज बेटर.
A little better, थोड़ा और कुछ हो सकता है?
अब ठीक है सर.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. तो Dr. Mohit, welcome to this Atal FDP program, and thank you for sparing your valuable time to deliver this lecture. I again welcome all the participants who are attending this program, and before we start with the proceedings of this particular lecture, let me first formally introduce our expert for this particular session. Dr. Mohit Tyagi is a faculty from National Institute of Technology, Jalandhar, and he pursued his PhD from IIT Roorkee. His area of research includes corporate social responsibility, industrial engineering, supply chain management, performance measurement systems. And today, he has particularly selected a much contemporary and relevant topic for us, which is sustainable development from a research perspective. Dr. Mohit Tyagi has, to his credit, more than 115 publications, 25 book chapters, and other research publications and conference proceedings. Dr. Mohit Tyagi is one of the leading researchers of young generation in the field of industrial engineering and supply chain management. And today he'll be talking from a unique perspective of a young researcher so that all the participants, young and dynamic participants who are attending this program, can benefit from his experience, and it may pave the way for their future research. So with these words, I welcome again Dr. Mohit, and I wish you please take on the proceedings of this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much sir. First of all, I will thanks to you to invite me and to give me the opportunity. Deliver my views on this great platform of Atal. So I request I am very thankful to the program coordinator Dr. Spender Singh and Qasim Murtuja for the same. And today, as sir discussed, we will discuss here the things related to the sustainable development as the topic of this Atal FDP is the clean manufacturing related as a transformation towards sustainable development. So I will go through one by one things related to the sustainable development here. I hope you will enjoy and you will entertain this session because so many lectures in this FDP based on the sustainable development as the main theme of it. Same as is in our case, I will consider it to share. Sir, there is not an option for sharing. Sir?
Just we are trying to give you the right stuff. Just a minute. Sir, it's on from our side. आप एक बार शेयर करके देखिए.
Sir, this option is not working.
तो दीपक एक बार राइट्स दोबारा से देना.
ओके सर.
दीपक मोहित जी एक
प्लीज
बार
चेक
ट्राई
नाउ सर.
करिए.
Yes, now it is.
Visible है sir.
Slide is visible.
Visible है sir.
Visible now, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, as a theme of our lecture today, it is based on the sustainable development as a notion of green thinking. As this topic of FDP is also based on the clean energy manufacturing as a transformation of for sustainable development. Here, first I will go through what is the development, why there is a need of development, and then how we are switching from the term development to the sustainable development. Then I will take the case of sustainable manufacturing, and then we will discuss a live example of automobile manufacturing sector as a research perspective. Because if we are going to write any paper or any MTech thesis or any object in any objective of a PhD, then how we can go through it. In terms of the sustainability, in terms of the sustainable development, we will go through. First, I am starting it from the term development. In general, each and every person is talking about the development. If we should go for the development, we should do it. But my point of asking is only that why development and what is development? Why we should go for it? In this sense, if we will see the general development means anything which is a gradual growth of a situation, that is the development. If we focus only on the red color, gradual growth of the general situation, anything. If we are going to add some value in the present situation, that is the development, whether that is going toward the sustainability or whether that is going for the another type of the things. Means if we are going to improve the value as a part of the value engineering, that is the development. In general, if you will see, we can say it is a positive change. Means positive change towards anything. You can see that towards the things which are in this surrounding. That is the development. Development is based on the different type of the policies, projects, and the legislations. The same fashion, we can say a gradual growth of the situation in order to have the positive changes in the things those are having in the surrounding. That is the development. In general, we can say development is unfolding things. Whether we are going for the economic perspective, whether we are going for the social perspective, political perspective, or cultural process and things. As a whole, we can say development is a gradual growth of the situation under different perspective like economic, social, political, or cultural towards the positivity as per the available policies or the new policies. Means positive change in the policies, positive change in the system towards the growth of the situation, towards the growth of the system, that is the development. We are not categorizing it in terms of the sustainability now. We are not categorizing in terms of the technological development. In general, that may be the economic, social, political, cultural, anything technological as well. We can say it is the development. How it is switched from development to the sustainable development. If we will think here, improvement of lifestyles and well-beings in order to preserve the natural resources of the ecosystem. Means the preserving thing of the natural resources, if we are taking this consideration in our mind and then we are going to develop the system, then we will say it is the sustainable. For example, like if we are taking the case of manufacturing or we are taking the case of any new product development, and we are saying it is a product development, yes. If we are launching a product, then we can say it is a product development. But there are again two things. If we are using the term new product development, then it doesn't mean we are going to develop the product entirely different. No. Because the launching of a new product is a very tedious task. We can not launch a product, new product in a year or in a, you can say in 2 or 3 months span. Because for that, a hard work, a groundwork is required. In general, you will see any product is based on the market need nowadays. Because if we will talk about the 1980s, I many times I have discussed this example because it is a very good example. Most of the all lectures I use this term. We will talk about the 1980s and we will see what was the situation of the market in terms of the product development. At that time, market was based on the company things. Means company is producing the product. Even then the customer will buy this product is not aware about the specifications of that product. For example, if you will see a Chetak scooter, Bajaj ka Chetak scooter, classic scooter, LML scooter, there was so many varieties of the scooters, and customer was not aware about the specifications of that model, that product. In spite of that, at that time, 1980s, there was a waiting for 20 or 30 days for the same product. But the customer is not aware about the specification of the product. In spite of that, there is a waiting. That was the scenario. That was the scenario. Companies producing the product and launching to the market. That was the push effect system. Means you produce and we will purchase. But nowadays there is a complete orientation, complete you can see the conversion in the market. Nowadays, what will happen? Competition is on top. What are you planning to produce? We are not responsible for that. But what we want, you should produce that. The meaning is that if a company is going to launch any product, develop any product, then it is required to know the need of the customer. It is required to know the orientation of the market. What is the demand in the market? According to the market demand, according to the customer need, if a company will produce the product, then definitely that company will success in this competitive market. Otherwise, that company fails. There are so many examples of the failure of the organization of companies in this industrial sector. For example, if you will see the Nokia phone, you feel why it is failed? Due to not developing the proper things as the customer demanded. In spite of that, quality of Nokia phone was very good. The battery backup and the design, robust design, these are the strengthable parameters of the Nokia mobile. Having such type of strength, Nokia is not surviving nowadays in the market. What is the reason? The reason is the development. They have not developed the things as per the customer needs. The meaning of development is toward the positive side, what customer wants. According to that, if you are going to produce, if you are going to develop the things, then definitely you will succeed in the market. They have not developed the Android system. The direct benefit of that have taken by the Samsung. If you will think, if you are remember, the key button point system in the Nokia mobile was better than Samsung. कोई नहीं खरीदता था Samsung के mobile. Each and every person at that time was focusing on the Nokia phones. Today's battery backup and other things. But Samsung has taken the benefit of that or that opportunity of Android system. They have implemented the technology, means the technological development towards the positiveness, technological development towards the positive change in their policies, as the definition we have discussed in the previous slide. This one, positive change as a growth of the situation. Samsung has moved that point, and ultimately, Samsung has covered the whole market of the Nokia. This is the case of development. Okay. This is the benefit of the development in the positive direction. Second, if you will see, there are so many things related to the quality. I will give you the example in coming slides. Quality is also a parameter for the development, but that should be according to the market orientation. It not be as a random nowadays, isn't it? For example, sustainable development, how it is started and why and from where this term is started. If you will think as the evolution of sustainable development concept, it is started by the World Commission on Environment and Development Things in the United Nations in 1972. That plan was introduced this concept of sustainable development in 1987. But at that time, in 1987, it was not in more practice because it was under the development stage in itself. Means each and every country was focusing on the sustainability things. There was a term Kyoto Protocol. The term Kyoto Protocol it started in Japan. What was the Kyoto Protocol? Kyoto Protocol was a group of different countries in order to make the things sustainable. Means how you will go for the sustainability. That is the view under the Kyoto Protocol. Was started and implemented in industrial sector in 2008. In 2008 it was started. And from 2008 to 2012, there was a Doha Agreement. Doha Agreement, in which India was also a partner. India was also a partner of this. So how we can go for the sustainability and how it can affect the country? Because if you will see nowadays, glow is a common thing. The live example of this is COVID.
Sorry to interrupt. Excuse me.
Please wait for 1 minute.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, there was an urgent call. Yes,
Excuse me, sir. There is a fluctuation in your voice, and voice is very low. So I request you, please.
Okay. I think now it is better.
Yes, sir. Now it is better, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As a part of sustainable development, we can go for the natural system with the social challenges. That is the sustainable development. And if we are going to meet the needs of the present without compromising the notions of the future generation to meet their own needs, then we can say it is the sustainable development. The second point is very, very important in terms of the sustainable development. It should not wait if directly we are going to develop anything. No. Nowadays it is not a development. That maybe in 1970s, 1980, that is the development. Okay. But nowadays there is a need of the sustainability concept. There is a need of sustainable development. Without that, if you are going to produce any product or any industrial aspects, if you are going to produce under the simple development stage, that there are so many regulations on the industrial sector. I will explain you what are the regulations. So in general, we can say sustainable development is a link. It is a link between development and environmental problems. In order to promote the economical and political changes, you can say the nationally or at the global level to tackle the different problems. Because sustainability is not a parameter of one country. If complete world focus on the term sustainability, then it will be promoted. You can also consider the case of COVID-19. In COVID-19, if you will see, where was the source? And it covers all the country. That is the spread. Nowadays, each and every country is connected to each other. Means the concept of sustainability should be focused to meet the needs of future generation. Means we cannot compromise there. That is development. Produce the part, you do the anything, but you are not focus on only one part. You should be do the things for the nation, you should do the things for the society. That is the sustainable development. There is an example, if you will see. There are many companies those are focusing on this. Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Steels, these are focusing on the sustainable development under the notions of corporate social responsibility. That is the development. And another point, another example I am taking, the development. If you are remembering, there was a HMT watch, hand watch, wristwatch. HMT was a company who was producing the watch, hand watch, and the quality of hand watch was very good quality product. In spite of that, HMT is not surviving in the market. है ही नहीं है. This completely stopped the production. When the quality was good, other things was good, then how it is possible to company out from the market? वो कैसे out हुए? The reason of this was development. They cannot develop the system as per the market orientation. No doubt quality was good, but the market customer thinking was changing. They are orienting towards the aesthetic needs. They are orienting towards the some other aesthetical looks of the hand watch. Lightweight, but HMT watch, no doubt, was having the good quality, but weight, high weight, no aesthetic need, no aesthetic look. So the benefit of such things have opted by the Titan. Titan have introduced this concept and developed their system towards the good look, good design models, good models of the hand watch. And different models for girls, different models for ladies and gents. Means different types of functions there. I think microphone is open by at any other point. Please close, switch off. So that was the part of development. But HMT watch failed. Means he has not developed their system in the positive direction or as the need of the customer. Ultimately out from the market, and Titan has covered the all market of the HMT watch. Development is a very important thing. So in the same concept, the sustainable development nowadays is in practice. Means what you are doing for the society and what you are producing. There are so many regulations under the economic head, social head, and the environmental head. Means it is required to take the environmental protection. It is required to do the sustainable social development. Then you will go for your profit analysis. Because all things are necessary. You can see in this slide the third point. Prudent use of the natural resources. Prudent use of the natural resources is very important parameter, because natural resources, if you will see, like the water, I also request you to all, please don't waste water. If you have a need of only 5 liters, then you will only consume the 5 or 5.5 liters, not waste. See, nowadays people are washing the cars and other things, and there is a 2-3 inch pipe, and there's a water is flowing. As a responsible person, we should think for them and should aware the near about societies, near about people. Please don't waste. Otherwise, there will be a time we will not have a water draw, and our society will collapse. And nowadays we are wasting, we are going, yeah, what is sustainable? No, it is not the part of sustainability. There are many principles related to the sustainability. We should focus on it, like the respect and care for the community of life. We can improve the quality of human life, conserve the earth vitality and diversity. We can minimize the depletion of non-renewable resources. We can change our attitude and practices. We can enable the communities to care for their own environment. Means it is our responsibility to do the things for our society. And we can provide a national framework to integrate the development and conservation. Then we can create a global alliance. That is the meaning of sustainability, and we should go for it. There are many aspects of the sustainability. Means you can go for the economic sustainability, you can go for the social, environmental, cultural, and political. We cannot say if the sustainability is only the technological related thing. No. Sustainability is not only based on the technology or not only based on the manufacturing. Sustainability in each and every concept. In then our life should be sustainable. Our way of living should be sustainable. That at the point of the sustainability, you can visualize the meaning of sustainability from this figure. Each and everything is connected. You will see here the water. Inside the water, there are the plants and bees. And you will see at this side, there are animals. There are some other things, fertilizing things. Tractor, there is a ammonia volatilization, then atmospheric deposition. There is a sea level, there is also a combustion, industrial combustion, there is a society, there is a transportation, and ultimately you will see we are connected with the water. And an important source, groundwater, on which we are standing. And we are wasting it. We are wasting it. Ultimately, we all will affected by this. Ultimately, we all will affected by this. The term prudent use of the natural resources is very, very important. We should not waste the natural resources because we have not the right of it. ये कोई हमारी ऐसा नहीं है कि हमारी अपनी संपत्ति है. No, we should not waste it. So such type of thinking we should develop in our mind, and such type of things or notions we should be aware to our colleagues also. That is the sustainability. That is the sustainable part. Only the sustainable product by the manufacturing unit is not the sustainability. It is not only the focus at each and every point. Second point you can see by the NITI Aayog under the head of United Nations Development Program UNDP. There is a NITI Aayog which is started by Government of India. You see here there are 17 modules. There are 17 modules under different heads. Like it is the Sustainable Development Program by Government of India, and there are so many things and so many fundings under these heads. The case of sustainability, no poverty, zero hunger. It is directly the sustainable system. Good health means we should try to reduce the pollution level. Otherwise, it will be very dangerous for our future generation. Quality education, gender equality, clean water, sustainable cities, reduce the inequalities, industrial innovations, and there are so many more. You can go through by the NITI Aayog website of Government of India, and you can go for further details of these models, of these modules. All are related with the sustainability. Is how we can go for it, and why it is important, and how it is beneficial. In general, it is development. It is sustainable development. Please realize this picture, this question. How many people can the earth sustain? At what standard of living? If you will see in 1950, there was a population of about 2 billion. In 2021, it is being 7.9 billion. But the size of earth, that is constant. Ultimately, in which direction we are going? You can see the situation. Even there in water, there are the houses, and people are living in these houses. It is sustainable. What is the condition of earth? This is the earth factor. You can say this is the population factor. It is also the head of the sustainability. We should also think for this. You see the situation. It is not the sustainability. Because the people is on risk. Life of the people is on risk. That type of things we should think, we should avoid it. And another example you see, the 1.5 million tons of clothes a year are thrown out in India. However, 14.3 in America. But it is sustainable. You are purchasing the cloth and then you are throwing. Here are the different segments of the populations. If one person is using a cloth only for 1 year and then thrown. But the weightage of that cloth for the another society, for the another people, is like a new cloth. So we should have this practice. We should pass on. We should have a cloth chain of the using materials. If there are many constraints, if we are the rich family and we are not interested to use this cloth more than 1 year, after 1 year we should pass, we should donate that. Donate करना चाहिए. There are so many NGOs those are working on it. On another side, you will see the children in our country. Even then, they are not using the sleeper. They are not using a single cloth on their body. And in such a situation, they are throwing the cloth? No. From last 7 years, I have not thrown a single piece of cloth. You also do this practice. You go for the just slum areas, you go for the poor pupils, and then you can give the clothes and other things. Children's. Giving them the books. If our children are not using, then we should donate that book to that society. They can earn, they can have the weightage from that product. That is the sustainability. Only we are producing the part, we are doing the manufacturing in that sense to protect the environment is not the sustainability. Sustainability. That is the one part of the sustainability. Or you can say the sustainable manufacturing. And as a whole, this is the view of the sustainability. Which direction we are going and what we should do. And another thing is food. Another thing is food. We should not waste the food. Even then a single spoon of food we should not waste. And we will try to do the availability of food for the hungry peoples. The hungry peoples we can give some type of food arrangement. That is the sustainability, so that the things can be equal. Things can be close up. That is the part of sustainability. You see, if we will not think as globally, then what will be the situation of Earth? Our situation will cover in a plastic. Many cities there is a restrictions on the use of plastic. It is also the part of sustainability. It is the message here. If we will not think globally and will not act locally, then this will be the situation. And on this earth we are living, then what will be the situation of the humanity? Each and everything will lapse. In general, it is the sustainability. You think about, if you recycle a ton of paper, how many trees are you saving? So never waste papers. If there is a one side work, then you can use on another side of work. Same as in our printing. Because each and everything is connected to each other. We are wasting the paper, ultimately we are going to collapse our trees. And trees are also giving the paper, it is also giving the oxygen to us, to our societies. Things are interconnected. That is the part of sustainability. We should go for it in general. Recycling of just one aluminum can save enough energy to run a television for how long? You see, we are drinking and throwing the can from our car outside. Can we think how many years does it take a single aluminum can to decompose? No, because this is a small thing for us. We are throwing a single can only from our car outside. No, how many Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and we have thrown it out. And near about the society, near about the highways, it will deteriorate our earth. It will reduce the fertility of our earth. It will not decompose. And lakhs, or you can say crore pupils are doing this type of practice. But it is not the responsibility of a single person. It is not the responsibility of the single organization. It is the responsibility of all of us. That is the sustainability. Not throw such type of things. Ultimately, we can say sustainable development, looking at the level of the consumption and waste and thinking about our careful use of the earth's resources. Realizing it, we are each responsible for our action, that what we do can have a huge effect on the other people and places. That is the sustainable development. I think the meaning of sustainable development is clear to all of you. What is the development and how we have switched from the development towards the sustainable development under the umbrella of sustainability and what it is. This is the sustainable development. It is a very important slide. For an instant, you deep think about it. There are 3 points. Each and every point is very important. If we do not take care of the world we live in now, we would not have anything to leave behind us for the future generation. Which means it means we are a selfish person. We are thinking for us only. Sustainability tries to find a way in which the human being live comfortably but respecting Mother Nature. It is necessary to respect the Mother Nature. But it is not something you enjoy today. It was here before you were born, and it might be here after you leave. वर्ल्ड ने कहीं नहीं जाना, अर्थ ने कहीं नहीं जाना. Each and everything is stable, like Earth. But we will move. Our life is not constant. Our life is not fixed, and ultimately we are the parameter. Those are determining the things. It is not be the practice by us, and we also think for such type of things. That is the sustainable. That is the sustainable development in general as a whole. Isn't it? This is the parameter of sustainability. Now, from development to sustainable development, now as per the topic of this FDP, I'm switching little about towards sustainable manufacturing. From development, then what is the sustainable development now? What is the sustainable manufacturing? If you will see, the creation of development of any manufacturing product which uses the minimized negative environmental impact. That is the sustainable manufacturing. We conserve the energy, we conserve the natural resources, and save for the employees, communities, and consumers, and which is economically sound also. That is the sustainable manufacturing. Means we should manufacture the sustainable product and the sustainable manufacturing for all products. We should have the concept of sustainable manufacturing of all products and the sustainable product production. That is the sustainable manufacturing. And there are so many cases in which we are opting it, like in the packaging, like in the process sector, like in the different type of manufacturing processes, in service industries. And you will see in mostly all of the industrial sectors, nowadays the things are going towards sustainability. That is the sustainable manufacturing. Initially, we will say it includes the renewable energy efficiencies or green building types of things for the social equity related products. But nowadays, the things are being sustainable for the all products, taking into account the total life cycle issues. Total life cycle issues. I'm taking a case of battery, Okaya battery, AICTE battery, whatever. So the manufacturer of Okaya battery or AICTE batteries producing the batteries of different types of batteries, and they are selling it. Customer is purchasing and are using it. And when the life cycle of that product is over, then who is responsible? At this stage, neither customer nor company. Nobody is focusing towards that. Customer is saying life is over, throw. Back to school. And company is saying हमने तो आपको sell करते, we are not responsible for the recycling it. Then who is coming in the society to collect that over life cycle product? Small children, mostly having the age of 15 years or 10 to 15 years, are coming and collecting the batteries in close, in kg, but 20 rupees kg or 30. and we are focusing on that money. Okay, हमने 2000 की लिया था and we have earned 1000. We have earned to 800. Ultimately, that small person, the children, is collecting the battery from the society and collect it near about that society, the jhoppadpatti, and then break it. There is a lead. Lead that is very dangerous for the health and main reason of the cancer, blood cancer. उसको वहीं तोड़ रहा है. The life of that person who is breaking that battery is in danger, and the society from which he has collected that product and near about that society is breaking. Ultimately, what is going on? We are cutting that branch of the tree on which we are sitting. उसको कटवा रहे हैं. So inside of this, nowadays, government is focusing on the OPM, original equipment manufacturer of such type of products. Means if you are producing the product and you are selling the product, you are responsible for that and the duration of their life cycle. That is the sustainable manufacturing there. Means when the total life cycle is over, then you are responsible to collect it. These are the innovations in the sustainable manufacturing. Like sustainability is the driver for innovation. Innovation promotes and accelerates the growth in the manufacturing. Manufacturing is the engine for wealth generation and societal well-being. And societal well-being and economic growth heavily depend on the level and quality of education and training. Ultimately, the things stop at the education and training. If I move from bottom to top, then education and training is related with the societal well-being, and societal well-being is related with the manufacturing, and manufacturing is related with the innovation, and innovation is related with the sustainability. It means directly we can say the sustainability is related with the education and training, and we should focus on it. We should aware the concept of sustainability as a whole. This is the sustainable manufacturing type of thing. You can see here, each system, each process, and each product should be related with the notion of sustainable manufacturing. Because as an integral element of sustainable manufacturing, each and everything is related. Means how we can produce the sustainable product, how we can produce the sustainable type of things, like process, design for sustainability. You can use the sustainable process. How sustainable process means the process, those are not deterring the environment, those are not dangerous for the employee. That is the sustainable process. Then the product and process design in terms of the sustainable manufacturing, then we can ultimately produce the sustainable product. Means sustainable manufacturing for all products, and products should be manufactured under sustainability. This is the way of the sustainable product development. So each and every term is required for the sustainable product, not only the sustainable manufacturing. We can focus here. There is a metal processing unit. After that, you will see there is a manufacturing unit. This is the assembly line of an automobile. Then use, you will see the cars on the road. Then after retirement, means post-use. When the product had covered the total life cycle, then what is the situation? You can think in this figure. Treatment and disposal. And what was the condition of this product at this manufacturing end? And what is the condition at this end? After that, this stage, at this stage, we should treat it as the manufacturing end. Nowadays, this practice is implemented in most of the industries, and there is a new concept of circular chain. A closed chain means, like if we will think as a factor of supply chain, what is going on? Supply chain is what? The supplier is providing the raw material to the manufacturer. Then manufacturer is producing the product and it will send to the distributor. And from distributor, it will pass to the retailer, and from retailer hand, it will pass to the customer. And then nowadays, the concept of this supply chain is connecting with the consumer ends, with the user ends. After the completion of the life cycle, company will be responsible for the recycling or remanufacturing of the used product. In this term, we can go for the sustainability. You will collect that part and you will recycle it, and then again you will pass this product in this cycle. Or if that part is usable for the another person, then you can resell it. Based on this closed loop material flow, closed cycle is going on under the head of sustainability. You will think under the head of 3R, reduce, recycle, reduce, reuse, and recycle. It was the 3R. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. It was the 3R concept. But as a sustainability part, there is a 6R concept in which the remanufacturing, the recover, and redesign is also added. Only that, let's see, we can save the environment, we can produce the good ecosystem. Because the raw material and energy, each and everything is coming from this earth. It is passing in this way. And manufacturing then uses that determine the treatment, the waste and emission, and ultimately it will come on the earth. But who is responsible for that? A company, which is the OEM, original equipment manufacturer, should have the responsibility of that, of collection and recycling. They should have generated the facilities of the recycling and remanufacturing. Only then we can save the environment, we can go for it. This is the sustainability. You see, as an evolution of sustainable manufacturing, this is the thing. In 2000, you see, there was a theme, concept of traditional manufacturing only. You will see in 2010 around, there will be a jump towards lean manufacturing, and the notion of green manufacturing under the head of 3R system means reduce, reuse, and recycling. So green manufacturing is what? Green manufacturing is reuse, reduce, and recycling. If we are focusing on it, that is the green manufacturing. If we are focusing only on the waste reduction, then it is the lean manufacturing. And if we are applying the concept of 6R in this way, means reduce, remanufacture, reuse, recover, recycle, and redesign. Means as a closed loop material flow. And this is the sustainable. If you will see in this figure at 2020, the head of sustainable manufacturing is going almost up, straight up. This is the sustainable manufacturing. We should focus for it. As a manufacturer or as a sustainable development, we are, all of you are responsible for it. This is the sustainable manufacturing head. These are the challenges. What are the challenges? Challenges is the new material technology. It means it is a scope of research. Product innovation, how we can go for it, sustainable manufacturing. Process innovation means how we can create the innovative and creative supply chain operations. Means it is also the part of research. How we can go for the economic analysis for the sustainable manufacturing. And ultimately, how we can improve the education and training system under the positive change in the policies. The same thing, challenges have an opportunity. If there will be the challenge, then you will have the opportunity. There will be the opportunity here. If there will be not a challenge, then there will be not a opportunity. Is it clear? This is the sustainable manufacturing head. हिंदी में उसको बोल सकते हैं समस्या ही समाधान है. Without problem, there is no solution. अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चन ना हो हमारे पास, कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो, तो for which we will solve? Nothing. Challenges is the opportunity, as problem is the solution. Now, if as a whole we will think why company pursue the sustainable manufacturing, only we focus on the colored part for economic gain and for the social commitment terms of the regulatory requirements toward consumer expectation, a company should go for the sustainable manufacturing. What is that? These are the dimensions of sustainable performance system. Means whether you are working under the manufacturing head, you are working under the environment perspective head, you are working under the economic perspective head, or you are working under the supply chain management perspective head. In last, corporate social responsibility. Means for what perspective you are working under the head of sustainable performance system. So sustainability is not a small thing. Sustainability is not a small thing. एक के लिए आपने start किया. No. Sustainability has different heads. On which head you are working? If you are a production engineer and your problem of research is related to the manufacturing, then you will focus on the manufacturing. If environmental things are related to the civil, then that is the environment. If finance related, then economic perspective. And all are related to the sustainable performance system. If you are an operations-based person, then you will work on the supply chain management perspective. And as a whole, you can think for the corporate social responsibility perspective as a green notion. It is not possible to analyze each and every perspective at a time. Here, I am considering the case of CSR perspective. You can go for any perspective analysis. For understanding purpose, I am taking the case of corporate social responsibility as a green notion. I will take the example and then I will solve by using a mathematical tool so that you can apply that concept under your different perspectives. Because each and every person is working in a different perspective, but the umbrella of sustainability is common to all. Isn't it? Now I am switching on the CSR perspective of the sustainability. So we have started from development, then we have gone through the sustainable development, then what is the sustainable manufacturing, then what are the perspective of sustainable development, and then I am choosing here the one perspective of sustainable supply chain. I hope this exploration and then this narrow switching towards analysis purpose is clear. CSR is what? We will see CSR is the responsibility of the corporate sector towards the society and environment. We can say it is connected with the part of the sustainability notions under the head of triple bottom line. What is the triple bottom line? Triple bottom line when we are thinking for the environmental, for the economical, and for the social things. That is the triple bottom line. CSR emphasizes more attention on the social and environmental, not only economic. We should keep this in our mind. Social and environmental. Means to achieve it, we should have the responsibility outside our boundaries. The better example of it, you will see the Tata Steel plant in Jamshedpur. They are emphasizing on the CSR practices. Tata Steel is going towards the hospitality, free hospital, healthcare system, and free education system of their employees, C-grade employees. I'm not aware more about the A-grade employees because for the C-grade employees, it is providing the free education and free hospital facility care system. And side by side is also providing the benefits in the hospital for the local society of Jamshedpur. There are so many other companies those are focusing on the CSR concept. Because CSR is a clause, and what it is clause, I will explain it. Many authors have worked as a research on this. Means, like Husted here said, the reputation and customer faithfulness is also the parameter of CSR. Generally, we can say CSR is an inclusive set of policies which will integrate the business functions. It will integrate the different functions of the sustainability under the head of corporate social responsibility. We can say, as a definition of CSR, it will involve the concept where the business activities deals with the social, economic, legal, ethical, and philanthropic responsibilities. whether you are working in the manufacturing sector or other. Because the supply chain sector, manufacturing sector, economic sector, and other sectors, all are the perspectives of the sustainable development, and CSR is a whole. In our education system, there should also be the responsibility, because institute is also a corporate sector nowadays. You can visualize the system of many institutes, many universities. Those are deteriorating the system. Entertainment is also the perspective. There is a society and there is an entertainment system. There is any marriage, what they are doing. There is a capping. You cannot put the DJ after 10 or 11 p.m. because that will hampering the local society. That will hampering our children's. That is also the head of sustainability. Sustainability is a very broad thing. We can see it is the notion in which we can respect of many social aspects. It appears directly for the social good beyond the interest of the firm. And what is the interest of the firm? Interest of the firm is to produce a high profit. Ultimately, we can say a CSR is a path of disparity. If I'm a good company owner and I am giving the CSR guidelines to our employees and also following the guidelines of CSR as given by the government, then definitely I will do something for the society. Then in the eyes of the customer, in the eyes of the local society, there will be the reputation for me. There are the different NGOs, those are working for the society, poor peoples. There is a separate reputation. We should not never be focused on the earning of money, because it is an endless process. We have visualized the things in this COVID situation. Nothing is constant here. We should think for the sustainability for our coming generation. Because we all are the qualified persons. And government should also be focused on this side. They should give the more funding for such type of NGOs, for such type of societies to promote it. And that is being nowadays. There is a CSR clause 2013. CSR clause 2013. If you will type it in a Google, then it will give the clear picture of the CSR clause 2013. Was implemented in industrial sector, Indian industrial sectors. What it was? It is based, if your annual turnover is 1000 crore and net worth is 500 crore and net profit is 5 crore, then it is the responsibility of that company to invest at least 2% the profit in the last 3 preceding years on the CSR activities. आपको करना पड़ेगा if you are falling in this category. Otherwise, there will be a strict action of that company. That is the CSR clause. I am repeating it. If annual turnover of a company is 1000 crore, 1000 crore is the annual turnover, net worth is 500 crore, and net profit is 5 crore, then it is a compulsion. You can say it is necessary to invest at least 2% of the average of the profit in the last 3 preceding years on the CSR activities, so that we can improve, we can enhance the society, local society, and near about society of our nation. That is the corporate social responsibility. There are so many related things of the CSR. You can go through search. There are so many important clauses CSR 2013, but there are so many parameters on which the CSR activities are going on. This is the key driver things by the Asian Ocean Computing Industry Organization. He has given the 4 views, 4 drivers for the CSR, like enlighten the self-interest, social investment, transparency and trust, increase the public expectation of the business. The reputation is a very important factor. If you will see the automobile sector, and I think you will be aware about the Ford company has stopped the production in India. This is a very reputed company, Ford Motor. Why he has stopped? The company has stopped the production. Why? Because they are not going for the development. One factor. Another point, they are not capturing the market orientation. साथ साथ हमें सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के साथ साथ it is also required to do the market orientation capturing. If we are going to purchase any product at any exclusive showroom, there will be the camera. This is the very live example, and most of the time I have explored this example. Then what we will think that particular storekeeper is watching through this camera on us. We can go to store and but no, that is the low way of thinking. Through that camera, they are capturing our discussion. If I am going to purchase the mobile phone from an exclusive showroom with my 4 or 5 friends, then we are discussing on it. The battery backup कितना होना चाहिए, and display size should be at least 6 inch so that we can read the PDF file easily. We are thinking the corners should be round. It will not break up, it will not rust our this pocket. Such type of things we are discussing. The weight should be light. We are capturing. That is the practice on which we can sustain our performance in the competitive marketplace. And you will see in the next product, such type of features will be implemented. So who is going to explore the things of customer to the company manufacturer? No, they are capturing in itself. The design team of that product, that company will analyze your views. What is the demand of the customer? Our customer what wants? According to that, it is required to produce the part. Otherwise, nobody will ask, and nobody will purchase your product. Another example you can see in the automobile sector, if a company is going to launch after 2 years, then that particular company manufacturer will explore the specification of that product by hand before 2 years. If the new model is coming, engine CC is this, there will be this type and this type features. They are capturing the market and they are thinking the views of the customer in order to purchase. That is the way. There are so many things, all are interconnected. Only by improving the one thing, we cannot improve the entire thing, but we can give the one direction, we can give the one contribution in that perspective for the sustainability. Like in ISO 26000, it is a core subjects under the head of CSR. We have heard about the ISO 9000, 14001, but ISO 26000. ISO 26000 is related with the social perspective. It is given to the societal things. Means like the human rights, organizational governance, labor practice you are following. It is given to that particular company. That company which is focusing on the social perspective, which is taking the responsibility to improve the society in which they are established under different heads. What they are providing the human rights, what they are providing the labor practice, they are environmental things, fair operating practices, consumer issues, communities involvement, development, and so many more. Under these head, the analysis team, CSR board, you can say. CSR board will analyze the thing and give the ISO 26000 certification. It is the new certification in the industrial sector. And it has started in the last decade. So many companies are applying for it. 6,000. These are the benefits of CSR. Ultimately, if we are going to produce any product development, it will help to provide a good reputation and it will provide the easier way to recruit the employees, no doubt, to company and system. If that particular system is having a good reputation, then we feel proud to be part of that. हम कहेंगे कि हाँ वो कंपनी बहुत अच्छी है. That particular institute is very good. That is the way of reputation. Reputation is very good. Reputation should be very good in order to run a good employee recruitment. For that, we should have the CSR practices. Each and everything is related with the business. Because in terms of the profit maximization, the CEO, company owner, forget the things of legal issues, ethical issues. They forget it. And in that situation, you can see the many universities and many institutes, reputed institutes, nowadays are on the corner of damage. Because they have focused only on the profit maximization. They were not caring of the employees. They were not caring of the other things of the system. Only profit maximization, profit maximization. That is not a long-term goal. We should focus as a. These are the different phases of CSR development in India. Like the first phase, it was based on the charity and philanthropy. Second phase related with the theory of trusteeship. Third phase is related with the public sector undertaking. It has started in 1960 and 80. Fourth phase, it was based on the globalization and economic liberalization. And in the fifth phase, which is the current era in which we are going for the sustainability. If you will think, the sustainability is the fifth phase of the CSR development. So sustainable development deals with the fifth phase of the corporate social development. And corporate social development has started in 1950. This was the consideration of sustainable development and the corporate social responsibilities. And this is the data of 2013 and 14 as a priority level of companies based on the sustainability and CSR notion. Like Mahindra and Mahindra in 2015, under the head of sustainability, it was the rank 1 in India. In 2013, Tata Steel, Tata Chemical. In 2013, you will see Mahindra and Mahindra was on third position. But in 2014, next year, he has implemented the more things of CSR and sustainability. That's why it comes at the first situation. In 2016, Tata Steel at the first situation. Second for Tata Power, third for Ultratech Cement. This is the ranking on the basis of the CSR initiative or sustainability initiatives, you can say. This is the estimated investment in the CSR practices in Indian Reliance Industry. This was Tata, Oil, HDFC Bank, Infosys, NTPC, Wipro. I have covered here only 20 data. So most of the companies are going for the implementation of CSR and sustainability type of things. So sustainable development is a very broad thing. These are the another industrial-wise roles. You will see here in oil sector, 22% is focusing on the CSR and sustainability. In banking and finance sector, they are focusing on 21%. In the same way, this data is available, each and every data related to the CSR sustainability and is available on the Google. You can go and search. I've also taken that data from there. There are different reports of the CSR by Government of India. You can see that data. Which company is focusing on this? This is the another data which is related to the projected CSR fund distribution. If you will see, the education and skill sector is also be focusing on 32% in the CSR sustainability issues. There are so many platforms like Fit India. That is also the part of sustainability in terms of the human health. Swasthya Abhiyan, it is also the part of this sustainability. And there are so many other things. Those are initiated at the end, at the level of employees and students. You will see the top 10 and bottom 5 states in which the CSR is going on, the CSR implementation. Red color, bottom 5 states. If you will see, the condition or the implementation of the CSR related things is not so good in these states. But in the rest of the states, in mostly rest of the states, you will see the process of sustainability and CSR has been implemented and started. And we hope in other countries it will move in a same manner if we all be aware. This is the data. Now, as the performance measurement system, because we have talked about the CSR performance system, what is the performance measurement? You can say it works as an adhesive, or it identifies the area that need the attention to improve. It provides the insights related to the effectiveness of strategies. It provides a significant contribution in decision making to managers during the formulation of policies and strategies. This is the performance measurement system. And for each and every system, you can apply this concept, performance measurement. You will see as an idea, that is the vision. And what is the empowerment? That is the action. And in between, whatever things you are going to improve the performance, that is the performance measurement. Now, as an analysis purpose here, I have identified here 19 CSR issues like equal opportunities for the employees should be is a CSR issue. Customer employee satisfaction, it is another CSR issue. There are so many social benefits for an employee, degree of interest in CSR, consumer awareness about CSR, top management employee awareness about CSR, protection of human rights, and I have collected here 19. You can go for more. Only for understanding purpose as a problem, I am taking this case, and in which I am using a simple method, decision making evaluation ideal solution laboratory. Only I am using this small technique, mathematical technique for the analysis purpose by considering the case of CSR issues, a case of automobile sector at NCR region of India. Actually, this is the work of one of my MTech thesis of my student. This is the work related to that. In further analysis purpose, we can apply some another ways, and in that we can go for it and then use it. We can also go for the different types of analysis. Here, only for the understanding purpose of this approach, I am considering the 6 issues: equal opportunities for employees, customer and employee satisfaction, occupational safety and health, and so many degree of interest in CS. You can take 8, 10, 9, 11, however you have identified. I'm considering here only 6, only for your understanding purpose, not some more. How we will apply this? If we are going to write any conference paper, any implementation in our research objective, then we can apply this tool. There are many extensions of this dimensional approach under the fuzzy set theory, under the neutrophobic set theory, under the hesitant set theory. There are so many mathematical advances of this dimensional approach. That's why I am going to explain you this method as a basic approach for the analysis purpose. In this, if you will see, there are the different steps. In first step, we will calculate the average direct relation matrix in terms of their importance factors rating. We can apply this by considering the values on scale 0, 1, 2, 3. And if we are going to experiment different experiments, then we can directly use the value of experimentation in this matrix. If we are going to perform 18 experiments, then we can use the data of that 18 observations in that matrix, and then ultimately we will calculate the average direct relation matrix. Then we will determine the normalized direct relation matrix. As all of you know, the meaning of normalization is related with the you can say reduce the deviation among the values. It will depend, like if n is equal to this matrix, so it will go through it, and then finally we can find out the normalized matrix by using the Taylor extension as a total Taylor series. We can also determine the total relation matrix. Total relation matrix is an important part for this normalization. This normalization will depend on the factor k, which can be determined by taking the average, maximum average of all parameters. You will see the equation number 3. It is the t is equal to n and I minus n to the inverse. N is the normalized matrix here, however, I is the identity matrix. I will explain you how we will go through this calculation. And then we will develop a causal diagram on the basis of the prominence relation value, D plus R. D plus R is what? D is the sum of rows and R is the sum of columns. How we will take it, I will explain you. In order to find out the prominence and relation values, we can find out the cause and effect behavior of particular issue in terms of their positive sense and negative sense. Means a parameter may be the important, but it is the nature. It is having the positive aspect or it is having the negative aspect. It is the important parameter. As in numerical illustration, you can see here, this one is the direct relation matrix. You can see it is from the expert one, or you can see it is from the experiment. You will see here the diagonal values for all is 0, because the importance of one factor over the another factor cannot justify it should be in 0. Means I cannot compare myself. This is the value of 1 to 1. It is the different parameter as given here in terms of the importance values, which is given here as a low influence, high influence, and the very high influence. You can also use the direct data which you have observed from the experimentation in there. After that, after this, you can go for the average direct relation matrix. For this, I'm explaining it in the Excel file so that you can easily understand it. This is the Excel calculation. You will see here, I have prepared here 11 individual matrices. 11 individual matrices. This one is the single matrix. You will see the diagonal in this are 0 and I1 to I6, there is a notation of 6 variables. Another one is the X2, same in this. You can map these values with the experimentation also. And finally, this average direct relation matrix I have prepared. It is nothing but it is the only summation of the individual elements by applying the formula like the first element of first matrix and the first element of second matrix, and then divide by the total number of experiments or total number of the experts, you can say. In this way, you can determine the average matrix. In this average matrix, you will see there is the maximum value, which one is the K value. K value is the, you can say it will depend on the maximum value of the rows as we have prepared here, and then K values we have calculated by taking the inverse of it, as it was in this, way. This is the K matrix, how we have calculated it. It is the summation of the J is equal to I to 1 to N in terms of the Aij, and then finally we have find out the maximum value from I to N and then reciprocate it, it will give the K value. In this sense, the K value we have taken here and then normalize matrix by multiplying the average matrix with the K value. We have applied this formula K4 into this. It is very easy. You can go through the Excel, and also if you have command on any language, C or C++ or in MATLAB, you can also prepare a program for the calculation purpose of this type of mathematical algorithms. Normalize the matrix we have obtained. After normalization, you will see there is a value of total relation matrix as here. Total relation matrix T is equal to Ni minus N. I is the identity matrix, means for this it is required to make the identity matrix. So we have prepared this identity matrix as the mathematics, means diagonal will be 1 and the rest of the values will be 0. This is the mathematical concept, the identity matrix. Then we will find out, here I am using the notation X, it is N in general. Then we will subtract the normalized matrix from the identity matrix, and then we'll take the inverse of it. And finally, by applying the equation T is equal to Ni minus N, we will prepare the total interrelation matrix. Isn't it? This total interrelation matrix is this. This one is the total interrelation matrix, which we have obtained by using this formula, this equation. T is equal to Ni minus N to the inverse. Once we have finalized this total interrelation matrix, then we will find out the values of prominence and relation D plus R or D minus R. On the basis of D plus R and D minus R, you will see here it is the sum of rows and it is the sum of columns. D plus R and D minus R values we have calculated. It is very easy if you will understand it. D plus R, you will see there are all positive values. Means on the basis of the prominence weightage, we can go for the priority of the considered parameters, and D minus R is having the negative and positive both. It means the values which are having the positive nature have the post behavior, and the negative values have the you can say effect behavior. Means on the basis of D minus R, means relation value, we can go for the positive and negative sense of the causal diagram based on the considered factors. This is the normalized direct relation matrix, as given here, and this is the sum of D plus R2. Means we are here by the calculation of Excel file. So on the basis of DR values, we can go for the priority set. Means which factor is important for us in order to implement the CSR things under the head of sustainable development, as we have discussed in the previous slides. D minus R is the relation values. On the basis of negative and positive behavior, we can decide whether we are going to implement the cause behavior or negative behavior. If the value is positive, then we will say all are the cause factors, and the value is negative, then we will say all are the effect factors, and then we will plot the causal diagram. Here you will see this is the D minus R value and this is the D plus R value. On this platform, when we have uploaded the data, you will see the I1 and I2. It will show the negative behavior. Means the equal opportunities for employee and customer and employee satisfaction. It is the effective issue. Means the cause factor will have an effect on the customer and employee satisfaction. It will depend on so many things. Directly it cannot go. For that, there should be the cause type behavior of the other factors. And you will see here the social benefit for employees. It is a very important factor and have the high value of D plus R prominence. This value is 5.08. On the basis of this prioritization, I can say the social benefits for employee and environment protection is very, very important part, but under the head of cause group. Under the head group, we should also be focused on the equal opportunities for employees and the customer and employee satisfaction. But directly we cannot go for it. In this way, we can analyze the data, we can determine the different values by using the prominence and relation things. And then in order to that I4 and value social benefits for employees, we can say it is the highest way. In this way, the importance rating of considered parameters I1 to I6, we can take it. You can also observe from this table, the value for I4 social benefits for employees is 5.0848. And for another purpose, if you are going to analyze it or validate the results, then another methods you can also apply and then can map the sensitivity of these values. And then you can go for the any paper publication of your work, of your data. In this sense, we can plot it and we can say which factor is important, which parameter is important under the head of sustainability and CSR things. This was the Demeter approach which we have applied here to understand the sustainable parameters, CSR parameters, and ultimately we can conclude that social benefits for employees is very important parameter under the head of CSR. But you can also apply different mathematical techniques for the mathematical analysis. When we will provide the sensitivity analysis, it will be more beneficial. So it should be more beneficial for the you can say the robust result. So from my side, it is over. If you have any query, then you can please ask related to this.
Thank you so much, Dr. for such a wonderful and intriguing session. Now, for all the participants, the platform is open. If you have any query or doubt, or if you want to ask any question from Dr. Mohit, then please unmute yourself and you are free to ask.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Anyone from the participant? Is
Good
there
afternoon,
any?
sir.
Yes, please.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, I had one query. Sir,
Yes, you can
if we
ask.
talk mitigation and enhance adaptive capacity, which is an approach towards sustainable development, then how can I use or define it if I take an example of food and fiber industry?
Okay. If you are taking the case of fiber industry, isn't it?
Yes.
Fiber industry, or under the head of CSR, then first it is required to know the strategies of the fiber industries under the head of CSR. You can collect them on the basis of the discussion with that particular company, or you can go through the literature review related to the fiber industries and the fiber parameters. Once you have prepared your model, once you have prepared your framework, then you can apply any method in order to take it. Isn't it? Because there are so many methods, not only this method, there are so many methods like interpretive structure modeling, like the fuzzy set theory under the nutroscopic conditions. There are so many parameters, but first we will finalize the things because it will be very case by case. We cannot treat it as a whole. So sustainable development will focus on the different perspective, like fiber perspective, and another perspective. So you will prepare your case as per your study. It cannot be generalized, isn't it?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Any other participant, if you have any query, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself. I think that will be all for today, Dr. Mohit Tyagi. Thank you again for such a wonderful session, and it is always a delight to have you amongst our dignitaries and to deliver an expert lecture. And I hope we can soon engage in another platform and meet again. Thank you again for sharing your valuable time and for coming to
Thank you so much, sir.
enrich this program.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
your
Mohit
valuable
Tyagi,
class.
Dr. Mohit Tyagi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, on the behalf of our ATAL FDP as well as Mechanical Engineering Department, DTU, which is also your one of the ex department, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Because till December 2017, I was part of that department.
So lots of
So much, sir.
thank you very much. I'm Dr.
Thank you,
Pushpinder.
sir, and Pushpinder, sir, to arrange this so nice platform for this FDP. And you have designed in a very good way so many lectures as I have seen this the schedule of your course. It is very appreciating task and very innovative topic, clean energy manufacturing and transformation for sustainable development. Thank you so much for inviting me and to give the platform for the other members or members के experts से हम बोलेंगे because all the participants have an expertise in different ways. Thank you so much for the coordinators of this activity.
Thank you to you, Dr. Mohit, and hope
you,
to
sir.
see you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And to all the participants, once again, I would like to remind you that we have an exit test scheduled at 2:30 sharp. So I urge you, please join 5 minutes before the commencement of the test, because once the link is shared, then it won't be possible to share it again. So if you miss that link, then that will be your loss. Please join before 2:30 today for your exit test. And we have also shared the link for today's attendance in the chat box. Kindly do the needful. Thank you again for participating and being such a wonderful team of our audience. Much.
Hello.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, now may I close this meeting or shall we continue?
We can close this or let it be open because they must be trying to get through that attendance link. So don't close the session for all for next 10 minutes, then you can close it.
Okay, sir. Fine. Thank you.
Okay. Professor Qasim, you were saying something, sir?
No, it's fine. So I think we can meet again at 2:30 sharp.
Yes, sir, sharp.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.